Welcome to Bear, brought to you by Giddy, the world's largest sexual health platform.
So you had anxiety prior to the pandemic, but you didn't actually address it because you were distracting yourself. And then the pandemic, you were like, oh, this is actually a mental health issue that I need to figure out how to remedy.
Well, and another byproduct of the pandemic, which is something that on a daily basis just terrifies me, is the whole cancel culture.
Oh yeah,
that really spawned during. I mean, it got bad. I mean, it existed before, but it got really bad to where now it's like if you said or did something 20 years ago, your life could be ruined because of it. And I mean, the world has changed since I've been doing reality TV and since I've been on. I mean, it was the Wild West back in the day, as you know.
Yeah.
It was lawless. I mean, the things that you were able to say, the things that you were able to do, the way you were able to behave. I mean, society at large. I mean, you look at movies that were out back then would never be made in this day and age. You look at music, you look at, just culture and society, things that were socially unacceptable, that are socially unacceptable now. Words, phrases, songs, movies, whatever. We live in a different day and age, and we have evolved. I think in some ways, I think we've devolved in other ways, but we've now evolved. And I feel like, things that in this day and age are unacceptable or frowned upon that were different 10, 15, 20 years ago. I mean, when I started seeing things come up and tweets that people sent out, when they were 14 years old, coming back to haunt them 20 years later, I'm like, I was an idiot too back then.
Yeah.
And there's not a person on this planet that didn't say or do something out there that probably wouldn't get them jammed up if it came up. The difference is I did it in the public, under the public purview. There's a lot of people, if you weren't in the public eye, it was a lot easier to kind of be critical of other people doing it, knowing that it's like, you probably don't have the cleanest closet either, So yeah, when I started seeing people I knew, people from MTV, people from a bunch of other shows, people that I knew very well. It was like a bloodbath, dude. It was like, who's the next one that's going down?
Yeah.
And I got to say, that was a very, very, very terrifying time because it's like, it could have been anyone. Anyone could have tweeted or said something on TV that was captured on camera or whatever that through the lens of 2010 or 2000 wouldn't even have gotten a second look, now is potentially career ending and, in some way, deplatforming, So I think that was a very scary time as well.
It's exactly what you said about how you had always found ways to distract yourself from actually acknowledging anxiety or any type of mental health. I feel like with the pandemic, cancel culture became it was on steroids at that point. And I think that it was because of the fact that so many people were looking for things to be offended by because they were trying to distract themselves from taking that look within.
Here's what this is what I've always found. And this is generally true for people who are trolls on social media and say nasty, negative things. Generally well-adjusted, happy people who have a life and who are, content with their life, they're not the ones that are out there like firing off mean tweets towards people, right?
Of course not.
It's generally the people who are negative and who are nasty and are unhappy. They're the ones, it's like, well, I feel like this person is happy, or I sense that this person is happy. I want to bring this person down to my level. So like you said, I feel like there was so many unhappy, miserable people. I mean, you're looking at me included. I think that was a time when people were just like, they just wanted to try and make themselves better by, bringing other people down. And
misery loves company.
It was a deadly concoction.